And we're live. Welcome to the check-in show. This is episode 12. Is this episode 12? I thought
Actually,
this
it's
was episode
episode
13.
13.
It's episode 13.
Yeah.
I'm lying to everybody there. And look at this. Even further to the lie, Gamache, Ash, and Capri. We're
We're
missing a
short
Capri.
We're short of Capri.
I don't want this to sound like a school shooting thing, but Claudio is not feeling well.
Yeah.
So please, your thoughts and prayers would be appreciated. If you're working in whatever clinic or hospital he's going to, can you just make sure he gets bumped up in the line and taken care of?
Take care of our buddy.
So that's better than thoughts and prayers if you can do that.
Yeah.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
Hi, Paul. How are you doing?
I'm good. There's a little breaking news thing on the bottom, which I think is highly important. Anyone who's tuning in, say hello. Hit the like button. Let us know where you're watching from. Ask us any questions you want. But this is the important thing for people living in Montreal right now. If you are 45 years of age and older, you are now able to go in to get the jab. As of tomorrow. As of tomorrow.
Excellent news.
And if you're willing to get AstraZeneca, you can apparently do it without an appointment. Obviously, there's going to be some wait lines. This is kind of crazy. Is the fact they're going to have everyone just kind of lining up. AstraZeneca is kind of famous for the fact that it's been linked to blood clots, but the percentage chance of blood clots from it is less than what some birth control has for women.
Oh yes, for sure.
So, I'm it's not going to stop me from getting it. If I can get it tomorrow, then I'm getting it tomorrow. That's how I feel about it. Elise Gamache is saying hi. You need a haircut, big bro.
Tell me about it.
I went and took Mike was complimenting my haircut, and all I did was I took the clippers and I just zing, zing, zing.
See.
Well, it was actually, there was a lot more than just 3 zings, but Mike, you
I think if I did the clip off thing, I think I'd wind up with no hair at all. That's probably I would go overboard.
I've got a guide, and I obviously didn't worry about it being even if you look at my head. So that's it.
Thanks for chiming in there.
Lisa got her jab 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And do you know which one you got? What flavor? What flavor? What flavor of COVID
she got the
vaccine
strawberry one, not the chocolate.
Got the strawberry. Sorry, I recently got into the debate about all I could think about was okay. I'm taking multiple steps back there because there's a fantastic comedian by the name of Derek Edwards.
Derek.
Who has a wonderful joke about the fluoride treatments, getting fluoride treatments from the dentists, and the flavors that they offer you, and how that's a huge lie. And Lise get the AstraZeneca. So there's there. So I recommend listening to him, but I recently pulled up that as a response to people talking about edible underwear on another show that I was doing about how the flavors are a lie.
There's so many flavors out there that are lies. They will actually, they've done studies where you will actually, if they put something in a format and they color it a certain way, it will actually color your taste buds experience of that flavor. Like in Fruit Loops, in a box of Fruit Loops, all of the flavors are the same.
Yes. Yeah.
And they have different colors. And if you take them individually, your brain tricks you into thinking they're a different flavor.
Maybe your brain, not my brain. My brain just goes, "Oh, that's sugar. Yeah, that's sugar flavored. Oh, wow, that's sugar flavored. What's this? This one? This one I think is a bit closer to crack cocaine. This is at least that's how my niece treats it. I'm completely lying. It's not a niece thing.
Yeah, I know that. Somebody also mentioned the other day that they said, "Oh, look," and they're holding up a Cheerio, and they go, "It's donut seeds."
You know what? I thought I had a malformed Cheerio. I took a picture.
Yeah.
I sent it to my lady friend because
Uh-huh.
it was like a perfect heart shape.
Right.
And then I noticed on the box that it was like they were supposed to be heart shaped Cheerios, like 1 in 3. And then I looked at my bowl a little closer the next day, and yeah, it's about 1 in 3 of them were heart shaped. I thought it was like, oh look, isn't this a romantic moment? Click click, send that off.
Yes.
Haha.
And
Thinking of you. Even my
she goes,
Cheerios are
look at the
thinking of me. No,
box.
it's
Look at the box.
the
Talk about
marketing.
crushing the feeling.
Marketing. Just
The mood went zoop right down.
Heart healthy Cheerios.
Yes, heart healthy.
Just
yeah, actually, so what was it, the other day somebody pointed something out to me, like about how they trick you into they manipulate you into believing something that's not true, and it was something along that lines. It was something about you think you're getting this, but you're actually there. They pull a switch on you, and advertising, advertising and marketing. It's like
there was a list of products I saw, and I recommend if somebody wants to kind of Google this, Google. I guess the breaking news is over. We can get rid of that. But somebody shared with me a list of products that are advertised as gluten free and cost more because they're gluten free that never had gluten to begin with. So
potato chips have never ever had gluten, ever, and yet they're gluten free now. Suddenly they're gluten free.
Well, the gluten free option being more expensive than the regular option too. This is, one of the great. There was I won't say the company name because I can't remember exactly which company it was, but there was a condom manufacturer that came out with the maximum size,
right?
For the man who has a little more, etc.
Yes.
And they were charging for a 3-pack what they were charging for a 5-pack of the of the normal
because latex is expensive. Yes.
Yeah. The thing is, they never changed it. All they did was they put Maxim and they put 3 in a package instead of 5 in a package, and they got taken to court in a class action suit for because they lied to say that they were making them bigger when all they were doing was realizing that they stretch. So,
well, those guys should have just gone out and gotten a very expensive sports car.
Oh, I mean, there could have been a little bit of a problem, like if one of the things people not say they don't notice when there's a hole in the condom. A condom will unravel if you have it under pressure.
Yes.
So if there's a hole in the condom, you're now wearing a ring. Why this is not the Love Doctor show. I don't
somehow
know.
We veered off in that direction.
we veered off in that direction, but just this Wednesday, if people want to check that out, Gladio Caress and Misty Portugal will be on the show, and of course we'll be taking everyone's questions about love, sex, and relationships.
The doctor will be in fine company.
Very fine company. The last week's show was just off the hook. So, it was very entertaining. It was very entertaining to be there, but it was. Did you see last week's Love Doctor or any?
I'm not sure. I think I saw the 50th. I don't think I saw last week, which was 51.
51.
I didn't. I don't think I did.
Do you remember the comedian Marquise?
Yes.
Marquise got out of entertainment. And is back
into it. Yeah, you mentioned it last week, and you did mention Marquise. I remember Marquise, and I missed that show, so I'm gonna have to go and check it out.
Marquise has lost a lot of weight, and they've changed their performance name to Felicia Rain, and they're huge on TikTok and on Instagram, so definitely worth checking out. It's Felicia_Rain with RAYNE. It's just such an amazing performer, and they were so fun to have on the Love Doctor show. They're going to be back soon. I know it. I do know it. Hi, how you doing? I'm worried about Claudio.
Yeah,
So
I think he's going to be okay. He's gone off the deep end on this a little bit, and I think he's going to be okay. I think what he's got is there's a bug going around. I think he happened upon it. He was in a crowd situation somewhere, and he got exposed to the bug. Because I mean, let's face it. We do have the COVID thing. Of course, we're like, let's not downplay the COVID thing, or everybody get vaccinated and everything like that. But just because we focusing on COVID doesn't mean there's not other things hanging around. Come springtime, there's always some bugs that come out of the woodwork and afflict us. Be it flu, be it gastros, be it all sorts of little bugs and colds and stuff like that. And I think he's got something that he probably picked up in a crowd situation. He's exposed to something. And
I mean, I'm about to start acting like WebMD, but Claudio, and again, this is our medical knowledge is not that great, and we haven't physically examined Claudio. We're only from what he has talked about. He has been complaining about stress and stomach pains for a while. Mm-hmm. So the idea that it might be like a peptic ulcer or something of that nature is also a possibility.
Yes, it's a concern. That's why I urged him today to go and seek some medical attention, to go and get checked out. Because I mean, it's one thing to try to consult with him, like to tell him, here, try this, try that, try this, try that. What could it be? But we're not doctors, obviously, and yeah, if you go and get checked out, then you can if you've got something to worry about, start worrying then. Worrying ahead of time.
If you have an ulcer, don't worry, because
don't worry. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Absolutely true. Good point. Good point. But worrying is interest on is interest you're paying on a debt you don't yet owe. So
yes, yeah, that is true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, somebody sent me an article over this time, because I'm like, I don't know about you, but I've been having difficulty with how long we've been locked down, with the lack of chance to perform. That's why I do this show. That's why I promote StreamYard to people. They're not paying me to do this, but StreamYard has given me the ability to find a voice.
Yes, thank you very much, StreamYard, for
and an
everything
audience
you do for us
to all you three people who are watching right now. So thank you very much. I can see only one of you has hit liked. So please, the other people, hit the like as well. That means a lot. Commenting also kind of helps with the show.
Yep.
But I've been describing how I feel a lot of the time as blah. And then the New York Times published an article. When did it publish? Was it yesterday? I get forwarded to me yesterday by somebody who cares. So if I can just put that up right there. So there's a name for that blah you're feeling. It's called languishing. And it's a really good article, and we really
my wife pointed out the same article. Yeah,
it's a current time. It's
yes, because blah is I think blah is a perfect word for it, but blah still doesn't encapsulate the feeling, because the feeling is just like, it's just like it's I think it's more.
I think it encapsulates the feeling, but it doesn't explain the feeling.
No, it doesn't explain the feeling, because it's a malaise. It's an unease of our situation that is pervasive. It just colors all of our interactions with other people, be it online or face to face or whatever. We're sort of like it's suspended animation almost. We're living. We're in the world. We're in our homes. We're in our environments. Whatever we do, even the people who are essential workers, they're living in an altered reality, because they have to take the precautions necessary to ensure that they don't get COVID, and so everything that we do, for over a year now, our life has been altered, and there's no getting around that. So if the people who think, oh, well, we want to get back to normal, get used to this, because this is the new normal. This is going to there's going to be evolution of this. Things are going to get back to sort of normal, but there's going to be a new normal, and it has to, you have to, I think the people who are like you and I maybe, who are feeling this malaise, this blah, this languishing thing, is that we're not sure what we're going back to. We have no idea what it will be like once we're back to quote unquote normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's very, that alone is cause for stress, because we don't know what to expect. We know it's going to be different than what we're doing now, because right now we're in suspension, where everything is on hold. But what will it be at then? Will it be still have aspects of this coloring our lives? Probably. But will we have more freedom? Again, probably. Will we have more? I don't know. We'll obviously have to adjust. There's going to be a huge adjustment to make from what it was like 2 years ago. From 2019, when we went from 2019 to 2020. I mean, let's face it, it took off pretty rapidly after New Year's 2020. It was out in February, right? So if we go back 2 years, what we were living, that's almost like a decade ago now, in terms of what we're looking back on. It's just weird. It's too weird for me to I get, if I look into it, if I examine it too closely, I get weirded out.
You know what, post the I think there's going to be a rush to have contact with people when it's safe to do so again.
Oh yeah. I can see that happening. Yeah.
Lisa's saying she understands what you're saying, but please tell a joke right now. Look, the Roaring '20s came after the Spanish flu.
That's true.
So get out those flapper dresses. Get ready. I mean,
start your bathtub gin now.
So many people are spending time in their pajamas right now that they're going to be okay with not wearing underwear in public, with the hope to actually have that extra access.
Well, I may or may not be wearing pants, so
thank you for remaining seated.
No, I'm wearing pants. Honestly, I'm wearing
That's
pants.
the thing. The lack of physical contact, just it's.
I know. I mean, I haven't hugged my parents since Christmas of 2019.
Yeah,
I have had no physical interaction with my parents since that day.
It's been longer for me, but
probably. Yeah,
that's not. Sorry, that was.
This is exactly. Tell another joke, Mike.
All right, for entertainment in this past week, because we always talk about entertainment.
Yes.
There was a new Marvel movie trailer came out, which I was hoping to talk with Claudio about. It's the first original, new original MCU character in a very long time. And it's Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And so that is a character. It was the first Asian superhero in Marvel Comics. But of course it was done during the time of Kung Fu. So they're trying to update it without,
right.
Obviously without the racial overtones, but it's so much better than when they had the white guy being the same thing, which was a character they had brought back already.
Right.
Which is crazy. Did you see the trailer? Are you interested in
no,
any of the Marvel movies?
I'm so out of the loop when it comes to those type of things, Marvel and DC and all that stuff, and comic books, and I'm just my comic book days were in my teens and 20s, and that's quite removed from today. So I mean, I the original series Batman, before Batman and Superman died a few times,
I think it was only been about once each, but
well,
there is a what is it? One of the things I love about Prime is the fact that there's all these old movies.
Oh yeah.
And so I like going back and watching these old movies, but sometimes I'm a little like, did that really people felt that was okay? I find that occasionally hits my mind.
Well, it's
some of them are fun romps, but
Yes, yes.
you know, things have evolved, thankfully, and are better.
Yeah, I know.
But
I was just the other day. I happened to be. I caught a snippet of. I think somebody was commenting on this. That's probably how I ended up on there. But I caught a snippet of Trading Places with Dan Aykroyd and Eddie Murphy.
yeah,
And in that movie, Aykroyd does blackface, and he does it in a way that it's obviously, it's a put on. He does a Jamaican Rasta character. It's so over the top that it's like it's a caricature, right?
right.
But he's still doing blackface. It's like,
Uh,
but again,
yeah.
I think if I'm not
Well,
mistaken, I think Trading Places is 1976 or 7.
no, it's much more recent than that. Trading Places
Really?
was, I
Was
think,
it
in
in
the
the
'80s.
80s?
Yeah, I'll look that up in a. I'll look that up right now. Let's take a look. Uh, yeah, no. The '80s was 30 years ago. Don't
Yeah,
forget.
yeah, actually 40 years
1983.
ago. 40 years almost.
Yeah, 1983.
Yeah,
Yeah, 40 years ago.
yeah,
So 37 years ago that film was out. And the world has changed a lot since
a
then. I
lot.
mean, still, there's a lot of things when people say you can't do this or do that kind of joke. You can. You just have to do it the right way.
Yes, exactly.
And I mean, to have a villain in a movie do something that's bad is okay because that's the villain of the movie. That's supposed to be
Right.
showing us what's bad.
But to dress him up in a stereotypical thing,
Yeah,
and then infer
for laughs
that
or
he's
make
evil
him the hero.
because
Yeah,
he's of, yeah.
yeah.
There that's problematic. Yes, definitely.
Uh, though, okay, so I watched Eat My Dust. Are you familiar with Eat My Dust?
I think I may have seen it way back.
I'll show you the movie poster.
Right.
It is the most unflattering painting or sketch or drawing, whatever
Hmm.
you want to call it, of the person who starred in the film. Let's take a look. First off, you've got the Confederate flag.
Oh yeah,
The Confederate flag is there.
I know
Uh,
Ron Howard was in that. I can't believe that.
yeah, that's supposed to be
Ah,
Ron Howard.
I know. Holy
That
crap.
picture is supposed to be Ron Howard,
Yeah,
and this is after uh this is after American Graffiti, so it's after
yeah.
Mayberry.
Was it was
Uh,
it was it before Dukes of Hazzard? Because the
uh,
Confederate flag with Dukes of Hazzard, that's another. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. I
I,
think it might be because this is '76 that this film came out.
it might have been somewhere around the same era as Dukes of Hazzard.
So I'm not exactly sure. So uh, let's see. 1976. Yeah, that is the
Hmm.
year.
Hmm.
Uh, and it is. I was just one of the things was after I watched it, and I did watch all of it.
Uh-huh.
It's got a fun kind of chase thing, but it wouldn't have passed the bench stall test.
No,
It's not.
no.
It was after I watched it that I realized, okay, this is taking in place in the American South. Yes, sort of stock car racing is a big part of it,
Yeah.
but they drive through the entire community. There's no black people,
There's no, not, yeah, not
not
a
a
single,
single one in
not
the
a
entire
single
film.
person of color in that whole movie. Yeah. And I've been in the South. There's a lot of black people in the South.
It was yeah. There was
There's not
so
a lot of
much.
black people at NASCAR stock car races. I can tell you that
Yeah,
also for a fact.
there were Asians in
Yeah.
it, but it
Yeah.
was very much for like a Chinese
Cheap laugh.
restaurant.
Yeah.
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 And it was produced by Roger Corman, but he didn't direct it himself.
Okay.
And Roger Corman is actually the guy that allowed Ron Howard to learn. Like Ron Howard worked for him in the production office, and then became an assistant to the cameraman, became a cameraman, assistant director, and he learned how to direct from Roger Corman. And Roger Corman is
But
somebody
in
who I've mentioned a lot, who has made tons of
Yeah.
schlock films.
Yeah. But in
Uh,
76, Ron Howard would have been 76. He may have been 26 because I think he was born in 1950.
okay. I'm not
sure,
sure.
but
I like it was after American Graffiti, so that was the
yeah,
film that George Lucas directed.
yes.
That they basically said to him, "We loved American Graffiti. Uh, you can do whatever you want," and he pitched Star Wars, and they said, "We don't understand it, do it." So like American Graffiti was important,
Yeah.
but Eat My Dust came out after American Graffiti. That also starred Ron Howard, by the way, for
Yes.
those who were not familiar with
Yes.
American Graffiti.
Yes.
And I think it's pre Happy Days. I'm not sure because like Ron Howard
Ron,
stayed
yeah.
young for a long time.
American Graffiti was 3 years, I believe, before they did Happy Days, because
Okay.
Happy Days was often thought of as taking American Graffiti and bringing it to the TV. To
Right.
TV, whereas there was so many different aspects of American Graffiti that never got translated to the television show.
Yeah. And 1978, I think, was another film was called More American Graffiti, which
Yes.
also had Ron Howard in it.
Hmm. That was a piece of crap, though.
Yeah, that was a cash in. That was a cat. You could even tell it's like
Yeah.
more of American Graffiti. I was like, man, people really love this. Let's take
Yeah.
everything that we cut out of that film and put it together to make another film.
Which is an absolute shame, because American Graffiti by itself, standalone movie, was a perfect arc, and it ended exactly where it should have, because it gave you there shouldn't have been any, like, even at the end of the credits, they said a few things. They said that Toad got killed in Vietnam. They said the hot rod guy, his name, Milner died, was killed by a drunk driver. They codified everything, so there was no reason to have another movie, because it was the whole story had been already dealt with and put to bed. And
Right.
so when they did it again, I was like, I went to see it and I thought, ugh, I was so disappointed in that movie. It was just like, yeah, like you said, a cash
Oh,
in, and
yeah.
even as a cash in, it really didn't rake in much money.
No,
Yeah.
it's sort of like the Sex Pistols' "Filthy Lucre" tour. It's just what do you mean old punks don't have money? We were
Yeah.
counting on the dissolution of society, so of
Yes,
course we weren't buying
exactly,
401ks.
exactly. Yeah.
There is
Punk retirement. Yeah, a punk retirement plan. I'm gonna cash in my empties.
that hurts my heart. That really hurts me.
Uh,
All right, but the something also that there's always a call for more. When there's something out there that people like, there's a call for more. There's a
yes.
TV series. It was a BBC produced show called Fleabag,
Yeah.
and I have you watched it?
I think I've seen the first season, and I was actually pretty impressed. I thought it was a very well put together show. I liked the premise. It was well done. I haven't seen the other two seasons. I think there's
No,
three seasons, right?
there's
Three?
2 seasons total.
2 seasons? Okay. I haven't seen the
And
second season.
and it is such a. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but
No,
for
well, no,
those,
don't worry about it. It's not.
it is a complete story arc.
Mm-hmm.
In the fact that how the main character Fleabag grows, it's brutally honest. It's based on.
Mm-hmm.
It's so amazing that they actually had managed to keep so much self control, but they have publicly gone on record saying, "No, I'm not writing any more of this. That
Yeah.
is the story. The story
Yeah.
is ended.
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy with it in its complete form.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it and enjoy it, but please don't expect me to force out another season or so." And like the main character starts out heavily grieving, very much in a self-destructive path,
Mm-hmm.
and by the end of the
Yeah.
first season, they sort of get out of the
Yes.
self-destruction,
Yeah.
but there is still
There's a
the
lot of
grieving.
things still undealt with, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And
When I got to the near the end of the first season, I thought to myself, yeah, there's going to be a follow-up season, but I thought to myself, this is not going to end well, right? This first season, we're going to have to watch the second season to get the whole story.
I mean, they were in a slightly better place at the end of the first season,
Mm-hmm.
but in the second season,
There's more.
They deal with grief a lot better.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, and there's actual character growth, which is also something that I love. Like a lot of American TV shows do not show growth. I mean, obviously there are exceptions, and now with the fact with the streaming services giving much better quality shows and better written shows. It's the old standard sitcom is you can do anything you want with the characters as long as it's completely reset by the end of the episode.
Right.
Right.
But one of the problems I'm having with certain series, certain things, certain copycats and crap like that I find, you just mentioned, that everybody like goes back to the well. If some is good, and I'm an old hot rodder, and there's an old hot rodder's maxim that says if some is good, then more is better, and too much is just enough. But in some cases, too much is just too fucking much. It's just too much. Stop doing this. It's not, no, it's not good anymore. Stop it.
Yeah. No. I agree. With hot rodding, it makes a lot of sense because it's like you look at it like no, we have to paint it red. Why? Because red makes it go faster.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
The idea of being, and
if you can put 5 gallons of fuel into this motor, why not put 10 gallons in?
Let's aerosol it out. Just
yes, exactly.
So it does. So it won't flood. But yes. There is a thing like the British television always kind of had a different take on it. I mean, there was some very American style type of sitcoms, but they still had character evolution. There was one that really sort of mocked the American evolution in it, and it was called The Young Ones, which was co-written by Ben Elton.
Yep. Oh yeah, okay.
Who was he took over writing Blackadder as of the second season.
Ah, okay.
He's got one of the most amazing comedy albums I have ever listened to. It's called Motormouth. There's one edit point in this album.
Wow.
Which is where if you were listening to it on vinyl, you had to flip it over. And
all right.
The only edit, and he didn't record it in a theater. He recorded it in a pub.
Oh, great.
And you have the noise that's happening in a pub. Like,
yeah.
This is the crowd is there for him, but this is the kind of place that'd be more akin to an open mic style comedy room.
Right.
And at one point,
or an Irish band or something. Yeah.
Well, these soccer hooligans come in singing, chanting "Ole, ole," and he engages them. And he gets them to shut up. He's self-deprecating, but also sort of threatens them, and questions their masculinity. And they shut up, and they left it in the album.
Oh, great!
Right, this is not.
What's the album called?
It's called Motormouth.
Motormouth.
Because he's very fast talking,
yeah.
And this is prior to stand-up culture really hitting in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
It was still more of a theater art form at that point. For somebody to be doing it in a pub was different. And so The Young Ones. I have not seen the full series. I have copies of like probably 4 or 6 episodes, and I would say in half of them everybody dies at the end. But of course, they're all back for the next. And it was done as sort of a parody of American sitcoms.
Yes.
And it's, they drive an exploding bus off of a cliff at one point. It's like, and then they're back. Oh, that trip was nice.
There was. I don't know if you do you know PJ O'Rourke? He was a satirical writer, but also now he's become very political, and
he was always a little bit political. He was sort of very right wing, but he also wrote for Rolling Stones.
Yeah, exactly. Stones, so. Well, PJ O'Rourke, when he was writing for the National Lampoon, which is eons ago,
yes,
did a bit, a magazine piece called "How to Become a Good How to Write Good," which of course, how to write good, right off the top. Yeah, okay. And he gives you all sorts of things, and about character development and stuff like that. Much of it is like very much tongue in cheek, but towards that, as he's wrapping it up, he says, here I come, like to the end of my article, and I'm contemplating, how do I end this? And he said, well, he says, a famous, and he doesn't name him, but he says, a famous author once pulled me aside and said, if you ever find yourself troubled that you cannot finish a story, there's a simple solution. Have everybody run over by a truck. True to form, he says, and then everybody was run over by a truck. It's such a throwaway, stupid thing, but it's so perfect in the context of, you're reading a humor magazine.
Yes.
How to write good. You're reading an article called "How to Write Good." You think it's gonna, you think you're gonna get some nugget of wisdom out of this?
Buy this episode or we shoot the dog.
I remember that issue. Yeah, buy this issue or we'll shoot this dog. Oh my Lord, yeah. I actually, a lot of my teen years, a lot of my humor was formed by Monty Python, National Lampoon, Mad Magazine, even though they were not as radical as Lampoon, stuff that was written in Playboy and Penthouse by writers, not and there was just so many things. And Don Rickles, God, watching Don Rickles was an education in how to be fucking offensive as much as you could and be funny as hell,
be likable. The
and lovable.
Yeah, is being likable. Yeah. I'm going to bring something on screen. I want you to tell me if you recognize the art style. Just
okay. Oh yeah. Oh my God, who is that?
I realized his name was there.
No, I didn't see it.
Okay.
But yeah, I recognize that. Yeah. Who is that?
That's Sergio Aragonés.
Oh yes.
He's the guy that did all the inside the border, like the border
in Mad Magazine
panels.
Yes.
Yeah, from Mad Magazine. So yeah. I had the pleasure of meeting him. That was him drawing a picture of me when I had long hair.
Oh, cool.
And it's me as a stand-up comic. If you notice, everybody's running for the door. So
that's precious. That's absolutely gold, man. Yeah. Him. Do you remember there was also in National Lampoon there was one particular issue called "That's Not Funny, That's Sick," and they had a cartoonist named S. Gross, who was absolutely off left field, like stuff that you think, oh, you can't possibly do a cartoon about this. Oh yeah. Try me.
There's a I think it might still be on Netflix.
Yeah.
A Stupid and Futile Gesture.
I think yeah.
If you get the chance, watch it. It is sort of like a behind the scenes of National Lampoon, and I
remember
Bill Hader.
Yeah.
Actually stars in it. And
there's most of SNL came out of National Lampoon.
Well, yeah,
the early SNL guys. Yeah.
Well, there's a scene in there where he actually meets Lorne Michaels.
Okay,
but he's kind of wrapped up in himself at this time, and Lorne Michaels is complimenting him, but he's viewing Lorne Michaels as the competition who poached his axe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and he's trying to invite the National Lampoon, the creators of National Lampoon, to be part of Saturday Night Live.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so much in there, and it's so well done.
Yeah, I have to check that out. What's it called?
A Stupid and Futile Gesture.
Stupid and Futile Gesture.
If you're a fan of National Lampoon, you should know that phrase.
Yes, that's from Animal House. What this calls for is a stupid and futile gesture. And we're just the guys to do it.
Yes.
Actually, I'm remembering the cartoon special edition from National Lampoon called "That's Not Funny, That's Sick." Had an S-Gross cartoon on top on the front page that had this little frog in this little cart with like pushing himself into things, and he's in a restaurant, and there's a couple at the table dining, and on the wall says, "Try our frog's legs."
Yeah. Yep. That's when I met Sergio Aragonés, that was one of the things I said to him. I said, like, you taught me more about comedy writing than a lot of the books that I've read on it.
Because a good cartoonist can put together a joke that if you wrote it out would be very involved and intricate and have, but they do it visually and it's perfect. It's one panel, bam.
Yeah.
Like, some of the biggest laughs I've ever had in my life have been at cartoons, at a well done, absolutely spot on cartoon.
Okay, besides S. Gross, who are some of your favorite cartoonists? I mean, Sergio Aragonés for me.
Yeah.
I would say Larson as well.
Yes.
The Far Side.
Far Side is definitely on there. I also, in the more recent ones, I like Stefan Pastis, Pearls Before Swine.
Okay.
He's very good. There's also I like some of the older guys. What was his name?
Charles M. Schultz has me.
Peanuts, the original Peanuts.
Yes.
Yeah.
But Bill Patterson as well.
Yeah.
So that's Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Calvin and Hobbes
he refused to cash in on that. He wouldn't allow marketing.
No merchandising, no nothing. No, he put out books, but that was it. And when he stopped, they did everything in their power to lure him back. And he said, "No, I'm done. My arc has come to its end, and I've closed it down, and I'm done." And I admire him for actually just saying yes. I've had my time in the sun. My career has brought me so much, and I have touched so many people, and I'm good with that. Thank you. I'm good.
We have done over 2/3 of the regular time, and we're only 2/3 of the panel here. What are you looking forward to later this week? Do you have anything that want other people to keep their eye out for?
I'm just
and I want to thank you for tuning in last night and participating.
No problem whatsoever. I enjoyed that immensely. He's got a really great little show there too. I mean, that's one of the things that this whole pandemic, this whole isolation has brought to me, is that I'm finding little nuggets, little gems here and there that I never would have found had the situation not come around. And it's as much as I love and I miss stand up, I'm discovering a little bit of things that I like to delve into also, like this type of stuff, podcasting and things like that I've sort of like I've touched it, I've checked it out, but I've never thought that might be something I'd like to try. And now I'm not now wanting to participate, so.
Well, I'm glad that you came in on this as well. For me last night, it's like it's been a year doing this. I've never been someone else's guest in the entire time. Not really. Sorry, that's not entirely true. I've done like Elsbeth Wright's show,
right?
And I've done some online open mics or writing workshops, but I've not had somebody interview me and be asking me about my past and all that. So
you're a good interview, honestly.
Thank you.
Yes, and it's not because we happen to be sharing a screen here right now, but
yeah, it's safer to kiss my butt
maybe
this
a
way.
little bit, but But no, I've always held you very well in my esteem, Paul. I've always thought that you're an asset to Montreal comedy scene. Like it's
a lot of people would say at least half of that.
The set? You're a set? Yeah, you got a great set, Paul.
That's a COVID way speaking.
Yes. No, we're still sort of like everything's just still waiting. It's like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, Like we're getting vaccinated, everything's happening, like they've just said now, people 45 and older, and sort of like the floodgates are sort of like opening, but of course, by the same token, there's a flip side of idiots thinking that I got vaccinated, I can do whatever the hell I want. No, 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 please, please don't do that. Please don't do that. You're vaccinated. That means, you may have gotten the first dose. It's a step, it's a process. And even if you've got some protection, you don't have 100% protection, and you can still get it and spread it. So don't fucking go crazy.
No, don't spread it. We just need to get as many people vaccinated as possible to reach that herd immunity levels with as few deaths as possible.
I'm looking forward to a few things. I mean, there's a couple of things I want to do around the house. Last year, we because it was just everybody was just so fed up with that. Summer was like a big nothing burger. There wasn't anything happening, so you didn't have any impetus to go out and do things, or But this year, I'm definitely going to be putting up my deck awning and my gazebo and all that stuff and screens, and I'm going to spend time out there because I've decided now that I can't wait. We can't wait for this shit to pass us by. We've got to live again sometime, And of course, we're not going to have people over, we're not going to have, but you still want to go out there, out in the sun, throw something on the grill, put on some music, have a bottle of wine, and just be.
You want to talk about something that freaked me out?
Yeah.
Was in February, I had the chance to be on a film set. We socially distanced tested.
Yeah, I remember you mentioning that. Yeah.
The location that we filmed was a mall. And it felt so alien to be in a mall.
Oh, yeah.
Just to walk around in the mall. I mean, it was closed to the public because we were filming.
Yeah, right. And I haven't been to a mall in, I don't remember when. I can't remember the last time I actually set foot inside a mall. It must have been over a year ago.
Yeah. So these kind of things. Now, coming up this week, even later tonight, it's going to be They Talk Funny, so I'm really looking forward. Brian Hatt, who has been putting out these Doug Ford impression videos, so it's amazing. He does these Doug Ford impressions and press releases as Doug Ford. Definitely worth checking out. He's a touring stand-up comic, has traveled across Canada multiple times. He's very funny. Just actually, if I can, some of the people that are going to be coming up on the They Talk Funnies, Michelle Shaughnessy is going to be the week after. Kate Davis is the week after that.
I've seen both of them on stage.
And Derek Seguin is going to be.
Oh yeah, Derek.
So that's the next 4 weeks of They Talk Funny.
Excellent.
And that is the Tuesday night show, 8 p.m. each time. And of course, Wednesday, I basically give over my account to the Love Doctor, and we're going to be seeing the fantastic Galadriel Carest and Misty Portugal on screen.
The very risque Love Doctor. He's a little bit out there.
Well, only in the way that being kind to other people is considered out there in today's society.
In today's society, it's an outlier. Yeah,
it is. So let's be kind. We will soon be able to hug people. Mike, I'm going to hug you at some point.
I am going to hug you. I'm going to hug Claudio. I'm going to hug everybody who will let me within arms. I'm going to be like
hug with consent.
Yes,
that's going to be so necessary because at this point, I think I just want to say thank you everybody who tuned in and watched. If you're watching on the repeat, hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe so you're notified when these things happen. This is every Tuesday at 2 p.m. generally. We're missing Claudio. Claudio, wishing you the best.
Get well soon, bud.
Any final words, Mike?
No, I'm just like next week we'll hopefully we'll have Claudio back, and we'll continue doing what we do, and we'll broach other subjects, and send us a little note and a little question or a comment, and we'll respond.
Thank you very much, everybody, for